Alright guys, Alastair again, and I have got a short little video for you here about vocal tuning. So I have my session set up, I have the instrumental track here, and I've got my vocal comps all laid out in the session. There's always going to be, when I'm working on a song, generally a lead, a double, and in the case of this song, in the chorus, we have a lead, a double, and a triple. When I'm going to be going through and doing tuning, usually what I like to do is I like to use both Melodyne as well as Auto-Tune. Melodyne is great for going in and actually manipulating the notes. Auto-Tune works as like a very good safety net to make sure everything's just working really nicely in the key and there's no little parts that are peeking out of tune. So I've gone ahead and I've transferred everything into Melodyne already. So I have my 5 vocal tracks already in here. And I just want to show you quickly what I have set up in Auto-Tune. So the settings I generally go to is a relatively fast retune speed, so 30 milliseconds. You can do this now in the newer Auto-Tunes that has this flex tune. And so this flex tune helps with changing between 2 notes. It'll smooth out the transition and you won't get that warbly fake Auto-Tune sound. Which I really like, but it will push the note onto the correct pitch a little bit quicker once it gets there. And then lastly over here I have Humanize turned up to 100, which just lets the actual note vibrato and pitch change within the note remain and stay in there a little bit more to keep it more human sounding. I have the key selected, so we're in C sharp minor here, and you can see the notes on the key or on the keyboard down there, and this is helpful. So if there are any accidentals while I'm going through and doing tuning work in Melodyne, I can address those pretty quickly. All right, so let's open up Melodyne here, and so the vocals all flown in, and I'm just going to start moving notes around and correcting them as we're listening through. My motto is I want to really map out the melody as best I can. Obviously, we don't want this to sound like it's being processed, so we're going to try and do it as transparently as possible, but I really want the melody to be marked out here in Melodyne.
Got this secret that's...
So I'm going to start pulling stuff down onto their notes. I'm not always going to be double clicking to snap the note right onto the grid. I'm more looking at this little red line, and I want that to be falling right on where the note pitch should be happening. If it doesn't, I have Auto-Tune to catch afterwards, so that's not a big issue.
Got this secret that's driving me crazy. That's driving me crazy. Crazy, cause it's driving me crazy, cause after midnight my memory's hazy, but
so right here, here's a note that I need to this needs to be on G, and I know that's not in the key, so I'm just going to go back into to Auto-Tune here, and I'm going to add G into the key. So now when I go through, I can put this note up to G.
My memory's hazy, but everything I said.
All right, and so here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chop up these notes because you can see with the red line, there's supposed to be 2 different notes, but Melodyne has just detected it as 1 note. And I'm going to quickly snap those all to the grid and then drag them down to where they need to be. And to do this dragging that I'm showing you, all I'm doing is I'm clicking, holding Option on the keyboard, and then you can move free of the grid in Melodyne.
Easy, but everything.
And I'm going to adjust the transition between the 2 notes so it's smoother here.
But everything I said wouldn't do. I do. Said wouldn't do. I did. I did.
again, just chop up this last note.
I did.
So let's go back to the beginning, take a listen.
Got this secret that's driving me crazy, 'cause after midnight my memory's hazy, but everything I said wouldn't do, I did.
Awesome. So now that I've got that done, I would just go through the rest of the song and do the same thing, roughing in the pitch, getting everything sitting in the key really nicely.
Hoping I don't seem to
Not too worried about where the notes actually want to snap to. I want to do this manually because this red line almost always sits a little off center. So I'm going through and very visually actually tuning this. When you have a note like this where it starts quite above the center and a little bit below at the end, this pitch drift tool is great to flatten it out without removing any of the natural vibrato or pitch differences that are left in that note. So just flattening it out like that.
Too introverted, I'm too introverted. I'm trying to hold back these.
All right, so now that I have this first part of the song all tuned properly in the way I like it, I'm going to print them because I don't want to be dealing with these plugins in a mix session or later when I'm moving around from studio to studio. So I'm going to make a new track and print these down. Name your new track. And then set up the routing. So we'll be printing from our comped and tuned vocal. Great. Solo, record, enable, and print.
Got this secret that's driving me crazy, 'cause after midnight my memory's hazy, but everything I said wouldn't do, I did.
Boom. And once you have your printed audio for all of your tracks, you have beautiful tuned vocals. Thanks.